All right, I'm willing to bet you're probably listening to this while stifling a yawn.
Maybe even two.
Uh-huh, yeah, maybe even two. It's a little ironic, don't you think? Doing a deep dive all about sleep when you probably just want to face plant right into a pillow.
But hey, stick with us. I promise it'll be worth fighting off those yawns.
It really is fascinating stuff. Today, we're going to crack open the secrets of why sleep is so much more important than most people
We're
realize.
talking way more than just feeling a little groggy.
Right, exactly. And to guide us on this journey into the land of Nod, we've got Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams.
Buckle up because this book, it's a real wake-up call. I mean, we all know we should get enough sleep,
Right.
but this book goes way beyond just feeling tired in the morning.
Oh, yeah. It links sleep deprivation to some seriously scary health problems.
And we're not just talking minor stuff here.
So, like, worst case scenario, what happens if I keep burning that midnight oil? What's the worst that could happen besides feeling tired?
Okay, think of it this way. Your body's like a smartphone, right?
Okay.
With a battery that's constantly draining,
Right.
chronic sleep loss. That's like using your phone nonstop, 24/7, without ever plugging it in.
Ouch.
Eventually, it just shuts down.
Okay, I get that. But, I mean, our bodies are a little more complex than smartphones, right?
True, yeah, of course, but the analogy kind of holds up.
Right.
You see, when you're constantly sleep deprived, it's like you're putting your body into this state of like chronic stress.
Right.
And that stress, it wreaks havoc on everything.
Everything.
Everything. From your immune system to your brain function, you name it.
Okay, so let's get specific. What kind of health risks are we talking here?
Well, we might as well start with the big one, right?
Okay.
Cancer. Research shows that chronic sleep deprivation, it can actually double your risk of developing certain types of cancer.
No way.
And that's not even all. It's also linked to Alzheimer's disease, heart problems, you name it.
Wait, hold up for a second. Are you saying that just by not getting enough sleep, I'm increasing my chances of getting Alzheimer's? That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's a pretty sobering thought, right? And the scary part is most of us are walking around sleep deprived, and we don't even realize the damage we're doing.
Okay, so how bad is it really? Are we talking like pulling an all-nighter every now and then, or is this more of a consistent lack of sleep? What's the tipping point?
Well, it's the consistency that's really harmful.
Right?
Think about this. 2/3 of adults in developed nations, they aren't getting the recommended 8 hours of sleep.
Wow, I knew it was bad.
It's a global sleep loss epidemic, really.
An epidemic.
Yeah, the World Health Organization, they've actually sounded the alarm on this.
Wow, I had no idea it was that widespread.
It's not just you struggling to resist that late-night Netflix binge.
So it's not just me then. I'm not alone in this fight.
You are not alone.
It's like a global sleeplessness club.
It's affecting everything, honestly, from our individual health to our well-being as a society.
Okay, so we've talked about a whole laundry list of health risks. What are some of the, like, most surprising consequences, things people might not realize are connected to lack of sleep?
All right, well, let's talk about your waistline for a second.
Oh, no.
You ready for this? When you're sleep deprived, your body actually burns muscle mass instead of fat.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yep, even if you're dieting and exercising.
So even if I'm hitting the gym and eating healthy, lack of sleep could still sabotage my efforts? Come on.
It's true, and like to make matters
Oh,
worse,
it gets worse.
sleep deprivation messes with your hormones, making you crave sugary, fatty foods.
I feel personally attacked right now.
It's a double whammy for those weight loss goals.
Totally. I'm definitely way more likely to, reach for the cookie jar when I'm running on fumes.
I feel that.
Okay, but back to those other health risks you mentioned. What will add about heart problems?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so sleep deprivation, it significantly increases your risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. And on top of that, it throws your blood sugar levels totally out of whack,
Oh, no.
which puts you at a higher risk for prediabetes.
Okay, this is starting to feel like a horror movie. Like, I need a nap just listening to all of this.
Maybe you should.
Haha, maybe I should. But I have to ask, what about those people who, seem to thrive on just a few hours of sleep? Are they somehow immune to all of this?
I wish, but unfortunately, no one is immune to the long-term consequences of not getting enough sleep.
Right.
You know that saying, I'll sleep when I'm dead?
Yeah.
Well, the book, it highlights a pretty chilling truth.
What's that?
The shorter your sleep, the shorter your lifespan.
Wow, I never thought of it that way.
It's not a good mindset to have.
No, not at all. It's like playing Russian roulette with your health.
Exactly. And speaking of risky behavior,
Oh no, what now?
here's a really shocking statistic.
Okay.
Drowsy driving is actually more dangerous than drunk driving.
Wait, are you serious? Just from being tired?
It sounds crazy, but it's true.
Oh.
Sleep deprivation, it impairs your reaction time, your judgment, your coordination,
Just like alcohol.
just as much as alcohol, if not more.
That is wild.
It's a silent killer on the roads, causing, countless accidents every year.
Okay, well that puts things into perspective for sure.
Yeah.
Those late nights, they definitely don't seem worth it anymore.
Nope.
Okay, so if sleep is so essential for survival, why do we even do it? Evolutionarily speaking, doesn't it kind of make us vulnerable?
That's a good question.
Like we can't hunt, we can't gather, we can't, protect ourselves when we're asleep.
Right.
So why has sleep persisted for so long?
That's a great question. And honestly, for a long time, scientists were totally baffled by it too. There
Really?
were a lot of theories floating around,
Right.
but no one had definitive answers. But recently, research has started to, shed some light on this whole evolutionary puzzle.
Okay, so what's the big reveal? Why do we spend a third of our lives in this seemingly unproductive state?
It turns out sleep isn't just about, resting our bodies.
Okay.
It actually serves a ton of crucial functions, both for our brains and our bodies.
So it's not just one thing.
Nope, not at all.
Give me the rundown. What are some of the most remarkable things our brains do while we're snoozing?
Okay, well, think about those times you've struggled to learn something new or remember an important detail. That's because sleep plays a critical role in memory consolidation.
Like it's hitting save on all that new information.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just remembering facts and figures. Sleep also helps us make better decisions, regulate our emotions, and it even boosts our creativity.
Now that you mention it, I definitely feel sharper and more level-headed after a good night's sleep.
Right, it's like your brain has had a chance to declutter and recharge.
Total brain reboot.
Exactly. And the physical benefits, just as impressive.
Okay, let's hear.
We've already touched on the whole metabolic and cardiovascular stuff.
Right.
But get this, sleep also plays a key role in boosting our immune systems.
So getting enough sleep can help fight off those nasty colds and flus.
Absolutely. It's like giving your immune system an overnight training camp.
Makes sense. I always seem to get sick when I'm sleep deprived. Like my body just can't fight anything off.
Right. And here's another one that might surprise you. Sleep can actually help regulate your appetite.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. It makes you more likely to make healthier food choices.
So you're saying I'm less likely to crave that late night pizza if I'm well rested. This is game changing.
I know, right? When you're sleep deprived, your body produces more of the hunger hormone ghrelin
Okay.
and less of the hormone that makes you feel full, which is called lectin.
So you're basically fighting a losing battle.
Basically, it's like your brain is telling you to eat even when you're not actually hungry.
Ugh, that explains so much. I am totally guilty of raiding the pantry when I'm tired. But wait, with all these incredible benefits of sleep, why do we even bother with diets and exercise?
Well, a balanced diet and exercise are still super important,
Okay, phew.
but the book actually argues that sleep is more restorative than both of those combined.
Come on, seriously?
Yeah, it's like hitting the reset button on your entire system.
That's a powerful statement.
Right.
Now I'm starting to understand why Matthew Walker calls sleep Mother Nature's best effort yet at contradeath. It's like the ultimate life hack.
Totally. And we haven't even touched on the fascinating world of dreams yet.
Oh, dreams. That's what I've been waiting for. Lay it on me. Do they really have a purpose?
It's a question that's fascinated humans for centuries.
For good reason.
And for good reasons. We still don't have all the answers.
Okay.
But research shows that dreams offer some really unique benefits. For one, they help us process emotions and kind of soothe painful memories.
So our brains are literally working through things while we sleep.
In a way, yeah. It's like your own personal therapy session every night.
Wow, that's wild. And what about those crazy vivid dreams? Do they mean anything?
Well, there's even evidence that dreams can spark creativity by blending past and present knowledge.
Interesting.
A lot of Nobel Prize-winning ideas came from insights people had during dreams.
Wow, I always kind of dismiss dreams as just random noise, but now I'm wondering if there's more to them.
Right.
Maybe we're all sitting on a gold mine of creativity just waiting to be tapped into.
It's a fascinating thought, for sure.
It's a bit daunting too, honestly.
Yeah, but let's be real. In our crazy, busy world today, prioritizing sleep can be a real challenge.
Tell me about it.
We're constantly bombarded with demands on our time and attention.
Work, family, social media, something's always vying for our attention.
And sleep is often the first thing to go.
It's true.
That's where we need to, change our mindset. We need to stop glorifying busyness and start recognizing sleep as, the essential pillar of health that it is.
Yeah, it's not about willpower or discipline.
Right.
It's about understanding that sleep is essential for, well, everything.
Exactly. It's a societal issue, really.
It's like we need a cultural shift.
I agree.
A collective realization that sleep is a necessity, not a luxury.
Totally.
Well, this has been a lot to take in.
I know, right?
I'm feeling both inspired and a little terrified by everything we've uncovered about sleep so far.
Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom.
Okay, good.
There's a lot we can do to improve our sleep, and that's what we'll be exploring in the rest of this deep dive.
Perfect. I'm ready.
We'll talk about the science behind it all, the dangers of sleep deprivation, and some practical tips for actually getting the rest we need.
Can't wait. I have a feeling this deep dive is going to change the way I think about sleep forever.
I think it will.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I suddenly have a very strong urge to take a nap. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground already. I mean, we've established that sleep is like our superpower, but sleep deprivation, that's like kryptonite to our well-being.
Totally.
But can we like dive a little deeper into how this whole sleep thing actually works? What's really happening in our brains and bodies when we, drift off to dreamland?
Well, it's not just downtime. Sleep is actually a very dynamic process, believe it or not.
Okay.
It involves different stages.
Stage.
Yeah, each marked by unique brainwave patterns and physiological changes.
So it's not just like closing our eyes and nodding out.
Nope, there's a whole choreography happening inside our heads.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this choreography.
So, you've probably heard of REM sleep, right? It's where we have those crazy, vivid dreams.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But did you know there are actually other stages? Like non-REM sleep, which is further divided into light sleep and deep sleep?
Okay, that's a lot of sleep jargon. Can you break it down for us non-scientists? Like, what's the difference between all these stages and why should we care?
Sure. So, picture sleep as a staircase, okay?
Okay.
You begin with light sleep, where you're easily woken up. Then you descend into these deeper stages of non-REM sleep, where your brain waves slow down, your breathing gets more regular, and your body focuses on repair and restoration.
So that's when the real magic happens.
Exactly. It's like your body's nightly spa treatment.
Ah, I like that. A spa treatment for the brain and body.
During this deep sleep, your muscles relax, tissues grow and repair, and your immune system gets a nice boost.
So that's why I feel so refreshed after a good night's sleep.
Yep. It's also when your brain consolidates memories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it strengthens neural connections, turning those short-term memories into long-term ones.
Uh-huh. That explains why I can never remember what I studied if I pull an all-nighter. My poor brain never gets a chance to hit save.
Exactly. And then we have REM sleep.
The rock star of the sleep cycle.
Exactly. Your brain activity ramps up, almost like you're awake.
Okay.
Your eyes are darting back and forth beneath your eyelids, hence the name rapid eye movement sleep.
Ah, that makes sense. And this is where those crazy dreams come in, right?
Yep. While we don't know the exact purpose of dreaming, we know it plays a role in emotional processing, memory consolidation, and even creativity.
Wow, this is blowing my mind. So we're basically cycling through these stages all night long, like a sleep roller coaster.
That's a great way to put it.
But why is it so important to get enough of each stage? Can't we just, like, make up for lost deep sleep with a longer REM session or something?
I wish it were that simple.
Right.
Unfortunately, each stage plays a unique role. Skipping on any of them throws off the balance.
Okay, so it's like a carefully choreographed dance, and missing a step can mess up the whole routine.
Perfect analogy. And that's why simply sleeping longer on weekends can't fully make up for chronic sleep deprivation.
Yeah, you're not getting the right balance of sleep stages.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about how amazing sleep is and what happens when we don't get enough, but let's shift gears a bit and talk solutions.
Sounds good.
Modern life, I mean, it makes it so hard to prioritize sleep, but I'm sure there are things we can do, right?
Absolutely. The good news is it often comes down to simple lifestyle changes, not medication.
Okay, good.
Sleep isn't just a passive activity. It's something we can actively cultivate.
Okay, I'm all ears. How do we become sleep champions? Where do we even begin?
Well, first and foremost, consistency is key. Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends.
Easier said than done, especially when Friday night rolls around.
I know, but it really helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
Okay, I'm willing to give it a shot.
And creating a relaxing bedtime routine can work wonders.
Like what?
Taking a warm bath, reading a book, listening to calming music, anything that helps you wind down.
Right, it's like setting the mood for sleep.
Exactly. And speaking of mood, let's talk about your sleep environment.
Oh, good point.
Your bedroom should be dark, quiet, and cool.
The trifecta.
Invest in blackout curtains, earplugs, or even a white noise machine if you need to. Create a sanctuary for sleep.
Transforming our bedrooms into sleep caves.
Exactly. Eliminate any distractions.
I know. I've definitely been guilty of scrolling through my phone in bed, and that blue light is brutal.
Oh yeah, that blue light is a sleep killer. Avoiding screen time for at least an hour before bed is so important.
Noted. Blue light is officially banned from my bedroom.
Good. And let's talk about diet. Limiting caffeine and alcohol, especially in the evening, can really improve your sleep.
So those after-dinner espressos and nightcaps are a no-no.
Well, it's all about moderation and timing.
Right.
And remember, the rewards of good sleep, they're way better than those fleeting moments of indulgence.
You're right. You're right. Good sleep is an investment.
It is.
Okay, but what about exercise? Does hitting the gym help or hinder our sleep?
Regular exercise can definitely promote better sleep. However, avoid intense workouts right before bed.
So morning workouts are the way to go.
Exactly. And it's not just about the physical benefits. Exercise helps reduce stress and anxiety, which in turn improves sleep quality.
It's all connected.
It is.
This is all super helpful. I'm feeling much more in control of my sleep now. But what about those of us who struggle with insomnia or other sleep disorders? Is there any hope?
Of course, there are effective treatments available, and we'll dive into those in the next part.
Okay, good.
We'll discuss cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, sleep medication, and other options that can help.
That's reassuring. But before we move on, can we talk about the bigger picture for a second? Like, what are the societal implications of a sleep-deprived population?
Oh, that's a very question.
What happens when someone's running on fumes?
Well, a sleep-deprived workforce is less productive, more prone to errors, and at a higher risk for accidents.
Right, makes sense.
This leads to increased healthcare costs, lost productivity, and even a greater risk of disasters.
Disasters.
Yeah, in industries that require a lot of alertness, like transportation or healthcare.
Wow, it's like a domino effect. Poor sleep impacts everything.
Exactly. And the costs, they're staggering, both in terms of human suffering and economic loss.
It's a wake-up call for sure.
We need to create environments that support healthy sleep habits.
This is eye-opening. I'm seeing sleep in a whole new light now. It's not just about feeling rested.
Right.
It's about optimizing our potential, protecting our health, and contributing to a thriving society.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This deep dive has been a game changer for me, I have to say, and I can't wait to continue our exploration in the next part of the episode.
Me too.
We're going to tackle the challenges of sleep disorders and discover some practical solutions for getting the rest we all deserve.
Absolutely. We'll delve into the world of sleep medicine, explore behavioral techniques, and give you the tools to conquer those sleep demons once and for all.
Sound good to me. Welcome back, sleep enthusiasts. So far, we've really journeyed deep into the science of sleep, right?
Definitely.
Uncovered some pretty hidden dangers of sleep deprivation.
It's scary stuff.
And even taken a peek into that fascinating realm of dreams.
A whole other world in there.
But let's be real for a second. Not everyone experiences, those picture-perfect nights of blissful slumber.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Some of us, we toss and turn, we wrestle with racing thoughts, or wake up feeling that we barely even slept a wink.
Millions of people actually struggle with sleep disorders.
And it's not just about feeling tired, is it?
Right, it goes way beyond that.
These conditions can have a huge impact on their quality of life,
Their health.
even their safety.
Definitely.
So let's shine a spotlight on some of these sleep demons, huh? What are some of the most common sleep disorders people face?
Well, insomnia is probably the most well-known one.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of that.
It's that difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or both.
And it leads to all that daytime fatigue, right?
Exactly.
Making it hard to function.
And it's more common than you might think. It affects about a third of adults at some point in their life.
Oh, wow. I've definitely had those nights where I'm just lying there staring at the ceiling, my mind's racing.
It's the worst.
With to-do lists and worries, and it's so frustrating.
And the more you worry about not sleeping, the worse it gets. Right?
Yeah, it's like a vicious cycle.
It really is.
But there's got to be some good news here, right? What can people do if they're struggling with insomnia?
There is good news. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBTI, is super effective. Yeah, CBTI helps people identify and change those thoughts and behaviors that contribute to their sleep problems.
So it's not just about taking a sleeping pill and hoping for the best.
Well, medication can be helpful in some cases.
Right.
But CBTI really focuses on addressing those root causes of insomnia.
So you get long-term improvement.
Exactly. It's like retraining your brain to associate your bed with sleep.
Instead of anxiety and frustration.
Exactly.
Much better.
Way better. But, there are other sleep disorders out there, too.
Oh, right. What are some of those lesser-known ones that people might be dealing with?
Well, sleep apnea is a serious one.
Okay, tell me about that one.
Your breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep.
Wait, what?
It's often accompanied by loud snoring.
Okay, that sounds pretty scary, honestly.
Yeah, it disrupts your sleep cycle and can lead to daytime sleepiness, high blood pressure, even an increased risk of heart attack and stroke.
That's really serious. But how do people even know if they have sleep apnea? It's not like you're aware of your breathing stopping when you're asleep.
Right. It's often a bed partner who notices
Really?
the loud snoring, the gasping for air. If you think you might have it, definitely talk to your doctor.
Okay, so if you're a loud snorer, maybe get that checked out.
Yeah, exactly.
What about treatment?
The most common treatment is continuous positive airway pressure therapy.
That's a mouthful.
I know. It's called CPAP therapy for short. It basically involves wearing a mat that delivers air pressure to keep your airways open.
So it's kind of like a gentle nudge, keeping those airways from collapsing.
Exactly.
That's amazing. What are some other sleep disorders?
There's restless leg syndrome, or RLS. It's a neurological disorder
Okay.
where you have this irresistible urge to move your legs, especially at night.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
It makes it so hard to fall asleep and stay asleep.
Yeah, it sounds super
It's
uncomfortable.
like ants crawling under your skin, people say.
Ugh, yeah, I can only imagine. What causes that?
We don't know the exact cause yet,
Huh,
but it could be treated with medication and lifestyle changes.
that's good to know. Anything else?
And lastly, there's narcolepsy, a chronic neurological disorder.
Okay.
It affects the brain's ability to control sleep-wake cycles.
So, like, people with narcolepsy just fall asleep randomly?
Yeah, they experience excessive daytime sleepiness and have these sudden sleep attacks.
Wow, that sounds really challenging.
It is, but there's no cure.
Oh.
But medications and therapies can help manage the symptoms.
Well, this has been a crash course in sleep
We
disorders.
covered a lot.
It's amazing how complex it all is, but it's good to know that there are treatments out there
Absolutely.
and that even if you don't have a diagnosed sleep disorder, there are things you can do to improve your sleep, right?
Of course, healthy sleep habits can make a world of difference.
Right, so we're back to those sleep hygiene basics, consistent sleep schedule, relaxing bedtime routine, optimal sleep environment.
Exactly. Those are key.
And we can't forget about stress management either.
Super important. When we're stressed, our bodies release hormones that can really mess with our sleep.
So true. So finding healthy ways to cope with stress, like exercise, mindfulness, or even just spending time in nature can help us sleep better.
Exactly. It's all connected.
It really is all about taking a holistic approach to sleep
It is.
and prioritizing it as like an essential part of our overall well-being.
Exactly. And it's not just about feeling rested.
Right.
It's about optimizing our brain power, strengthening our immune system, regulating our emotions, and living a longer, healthier life.
It's like sleep is the foundation for everything else, and without a strong foundation, the whole structure crumbles.
Love that analogy. We can't afford to sacrifice sleep.
No, we can't. It's time to reclaim our sleep. Well, this deep dive has been truly amazing. I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of sleep, and I'm definitely ready to make some changes in my own life.
That's great to hear.
And hey, if anyone out there happens to nod off during this episode, don't worry about
It
it.
happens to the best of us.
You're just putting all this newfound knowledge into practice.
Exactly. Sweet dreams, everyone.
And remember, if you're looking for even more sleep wisdom, definitely check out Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep. It's a game changer. Until next time, sleep well.
T 60 AI.